Hi everyone, welcome to the Nice Guy Show. I'm the Nice Guy, Phil Torsivia. I have my new books are out.
Yay.
Came out in print now. This is the latest one. Nice knowing you. So go pick that up out on Amazon. The link's here on the Wazilla Media page. This week my co-host Kathy McLaughlin is back. It's great to see you back. She is a spiritual intuitive and she's a holistic life coach working out of Encinitas. And this week we have a special guest, Dr. Amanda Ward from Bloom in Encinitas. And we're going to be talking about everything from natural health and fitness to the Oscars, which were on last night. Hopefully you guys watched that. So let's start with Kathy, because now she's finally back. Now you had reconstructive surgery from your breast cancer surgery that you had last year.
Yes.
You had reconstructive surgery.
Yes.
And how did that go?
It went well up until this last Friday. I got an infection, which you know about. I think you may have heard through the grapevine. And it just started swelling and oozing and leaking fluid. And so far, the best guesstimate is that my body's rejecting the Alloderm, but we don't know. And so far, the antibiotics don't seem to be working. So it's a fluke that I'm even here today.
Well, what is Alloderm? Do you know what it is specifically? Is it?
Well, it's a synthetic material, so it's not all that unlikely that your body
Would reject it or have.
reject it. Yeah.
Can it be an initial thing where it's like at first going, get out of here, it's foreign, but then finally adjust?
Yeah, the immune system's probably trying to figure out, okay, is this foreign? Is this an enemy to us, or can we live with this?
Okay.
So
it's almost like a
gotta
transplant.
give it some time.
Kind of like your body is fighting it until it gets used to it.
And what about the antibiotics? Clearly it's an infection just because it's inflamed and it's hot, and it's. Would that take longer because of a foreign object for the antibiotics to work? Because it's been today would be 72 hours, and maybe I'm noticing a teeny bit of relief, but the whole weekend was just, I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah, poor thing. Yeah, I think it is very likely you're going to have to give it some more time.
Give it some more time.
Yeah.
Not panic?
No.
Okay.
Step one. No.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Step one is don't panic. Okay, so the Alloderm was used to fill in the space of the tumor that they removed?
Right, there was such a big tumor that was removed that it was sort of the skin and the tissue's natural thing to kind of have it looked like a shark bite is what it looked like this huge indentation, and so the thought was to sort of smooth it out so it didn't look so deformed. I didn't see this one coming.
Well, we're glad to have you back. I'm just, hopefully your antibiotics will kick in and help with that. I know Kathy took the natural route as much as possible with, the treatment of the cancer. Do you see cancer patients often in your practice?
I don't see a whole lot. I don't specialize in cancer by any means, and when I do see them, only when in conjunction with, the regular doctors, But there's a lot that we can do, to really help with the healing process, help them regain their immune systems, So I think we serve as a good complement,
Right.
to the Western modalities.
Right. Now your website, I was looking today, that has a lot of testimonials from patients that you've had, and it's really, really interesting. So what was the website, web address again?
BloomNaturalHealth.com.
Okay, yeah, I think I have it on the Wazilla page. Yeah. Definitely check it out. They're just very interesting, talks that women are giving about the treatments that they had that just were not working until they came and met you, and it's just very encouraging.
Yeah, that's the most exciting part about what I do. I just love the connecting with patients and seeing them get that aha moment, and like I kind of say, we tend to get patients who have been everywhere else and say, and I went to all these doctors and they found nothing. They told me I'm fine. They gave me an antidepressant and maybe an antibiotic and sent me out the door. But I know in my heart that something more is going on.
Right.
And when they come to me, and we do the testing that wasn't done, they think they had every test in the world, and oftentimes they really didn't. And then when they see that and we identify there is something going on, that aha moment of, oh my gosh, maybe I have found a place where they really will identify what's going on and get me back on the path to wellness.
So the testing you're talking about, does that involve blood tests mostly, blood screening, or?
Yeah, we kind of joke in my clinic that if you make a body fluid, we're going to test it.
Okay.
We test blood, both red blood cells and white blood cells. We test saliva, we test urine, we even test stool. So yeah, we test a lot of body fluids.
Wow. Okay.
And I feel like you really need to, to really get to the
Get the
root.
full
We have a
picture.
lot of complex diseases and chronic things going on right now, and it requires looking at all the different, parts and pieces of our body.
Right, and you're looking to heal the source of the problem. Whereas,
Exactly.
it seems to me, I don't go see the doctor that often, but it seems to me that the doctors are more interested in healing the symptoms. Like, I'm
Absolutely.
going
Or
to
quote
give you.
unquote putting out the fire. Just
Right.
like, let's just put this Band-Aid here, but we'll never ever get to what the root cause is.
Right. It's very reactive, very reactive medicine. We're really trying to bring it back and be really proactive.
Right.
And find that root cause. That's step one in naturopathic philosophy. You have to treat the root cause, and you have to treat everybody as an individual.
And sometimes the root cause can be emotional, right? It can be.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you treat something like that? You just.
Well, in a lot of ways, so you're really great with that too, really getting to that emotional piece. So we tend
Right.
to really, I say it takes a village,
Uh-huh.
so we're really into, maybe you do need to have a counselor, maybe you do need to have, someone like Kathy here to work with. But I also utilize things called flower essences. We do little simple techniques called emotional freedom technique. We use homeopathics. These are certain kind of energy medicine type things, you might say, that are meant for addressing the emotional body and rebalancing it.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Michelle was talking about those a little bit too.
Yeah.
With flower essences.
Yeah,
Interesting.
flower essences are cool.
Yeah, if it works, and obviously it does from the testimonials that I've seen, so that's really encouraging. I think anytime you're taking a natural route, it's got to just be the better way. I would
Yeah.
think it's got to be less expensive probably too. I mean, considering how much it costs, how much we're spending on prescription drugs nowadays.
Absolutely. And surgeries and a lifetime of
Right.
medications, yeah.
Yeah.
And they've proven, there's been studies that have proven a true preventive approach to humans and wellness is absolutely money saving. And I think this is a big part of our economic issues right now. We know
Sure.
that medical expenses are at the heart of a lot of this. And at the heart of that problem is that people are receiving reactive care, which is very expensive, rather than that proactive care. So I feel like naturopathic doctors really, we could really help fill in that gap and actually help change the economic issues, you know?
Yes, it would be great. I just think the financial part of it is what scares me. There's so much money being poured into these hospitals and the doctors
Absolutely.
from the pharmaceutical companies. I'm just wondering, do the naturopaths even have a fighting chance against the huge monoliths that you're against?
Yeah, it's a scary thing, but the cool thing, and I see it in my little clinic in Little Encinitas, California, is that there's really kind of a grassroots type of thing going on where almost underground, people are wanting and learning more, and all these little topics, vaccines and autism, all these hot topics coming up right now are creating kind of a collective consciousness. And if you really look all throughout history, that's how big things change, is by
Right.
little
A meme.
grassroots people, making others aware of the truth.
Right. Is it? It seems like Encinitas, or at least Southern California, is the hotbed for natural medicine. Is it
Yeah.
starting to spread into hopefully other cities like New York, Philadelphia, Chicago? And
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little mecca. I mean, I'm from Utah, small town Fruit Heights, and even there, Salt Lake, that area, it's really starting to spread. So it's spreading like wildfire.
Well, that's exciting.
It is
Well,
exciting.
Don't they
even
call that the 100 monkey effect?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, even the natural food stores too. The Jimbo's, the Trader Joe's, the Henry's. Those are all seem to be spreading more and more. So people are willing to spend a little extra to make sure that their food is natural and pesticide free.
Yeah.
Pesticide free.
That's right.
But yes, it's great. So you also offer some preventative treatments. So talk about some of those that for people that aren't even sick yet. They just
Yeah.
want to stay healthy. and be
Yeah,
healthier.
exactly. And that's my favorite patient, favorite approach to take. Most of my patients, like I said, come to me because they've had some chronic issues for a very long time that haven't been getting addressed, But it's, we treat everybody as an individual. We treat the root cause. But with anybody coming to me, there's going to be kind of a set process that we go through. We call it the 6 seeds of blossoming health, And step 1, the seed 1 with everybody we do is the discover process. And the discover process is running a certain amount of tests. We do just even some basic blood work, but even in our basic panel, we're checking everybody for, the health of their immune system, the health of their red blood cells. We check thyroid panels on everybody.
Okay.
Just simple vitamin D levels. There's a whole panel that we check to just see where's your body at. Is there any small imbalances that could become big imbalances if we don't correct them?
Sure.
And the truth is that everybody has something. Everybody has a deficiency or an
Must, yeah.
imbalance or a hormone issue.
Natural.
Everybody has something. So we find that, and hopefully in its earliest stages, and correct it with the most natural means possible. And hopefully we say we've just possibly prevented a disease from happening down the line.
Yeah, that seems like the smart way to go.
Yeah.
I even laugh when I take my multivitamin in the morning. I'm like, there's probably 90% of what's in that vitamin that I don't need. So it would be nice
Potentially.
if you had a blood panel that said, okay, you're a deficiency and your B or D vitamin, whichever it is. At least
Exactly.
at least you know that you're attacking your deficiencies and correcting them.
Yeah, yeah, and there's even a really cool test. Speaking to that, it's called the SpectraCell test. This is a newer, advanced. It's called a micronutrient analysis. They actually, take out your white blood cells, actually grow them in a petri dish
Wow.
for 3 weeks. This is a lab in Texas, and they do all these cool chemical analysis to determine exactly what are your deficiencies, and they check everything, so, random stuff sometimes you've never heard of, like riboflavin, or choline. And so, yeah, exactly. You find out exactly what you're deficient in.
Yeah,
and
and
we
then
can replete it specifically.
You just go to GNC or wherever your place and pick that up, and then
Yeah.
you can fill in your blanks. Basically, is what's going on there.
Exactly.
Huh? Well, that's an encouraging sign there.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to actually go and get that blood panel done
You
now.
should.
I think you
You
should.
should.
Yeah,
And we
what
can
am I
also
gonna-
check your hormones, your
Okay.
thyroid. We can check
All right.
everything.
I'm at that
Come on
age
over.
now where I guess I could do that. I'm fitty. So I can go get all
Yeah,
that
see,
done, make
men
sure
go
it's all-
through, they call it andropause too. Men
Yeah.
get hormonal changes.
Okay,
and
I'll do that. It's
shifts.
better than the finger.
That's right.
So, all right, we were going to head towards a break here, but I want to thank Dr. Amanda Ward for being here and Kathy, and hope Michelle's back soon. She's on vacation, so we'll see you in a bit.